So in this quick video, let's look at the letter E in French. Y. Y is the name of it. It's pronounced E, but the name of the letter, when we're enunciating each of the letters of the alphabet, it's called Y. So if we run through the alphabet very quickly, we get A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, which is the vowel I in English. I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. So the name of the letter Y. But what about the, when we're spelling words, we're going to spell out, that if we spell out the word le pays, the country, well, we're going to say P-A-Y-S, P-A-Y-S. So if we were spelling out that word, that's what we would say. And if we take another example, for example, le foyer or un foyer, a home, or a household, if you like. And it can also be a cluster of contamination in the context of COVID, un foyer de contamination, un foyer de contamination. But in its general sense, it just means a home or a household. And if we were to spell out that word, again, we would get F-O-Y-E-R, F-O-Y-E-R. But what about the function of the word? And it can be an adverb or a pronoun depending on the context. But without getting too techie about it, it's used very, very frequently where we're using verbs followed by the preposition à, like réfléchir à, to reflect on something, réfléchir à. Or for example, take the verb accéder à, to gain access to something, accéder à. Or for example, être opposé à, to be opposed to something. So where we've got a verb or a verbal expression followed by the pronoun a, or excuse me, the preposition a, well, those expressions, E is never going to be far away. Let's take some examples. For example, je réfléchis à mes options. I'm considering my options. I'm reflecting on my options. Je réfléchis à mes options. Je réfléchis à mes options. And now you and I are having a discussion about what I'm going to do next year or something like that. And we've been talking about my options. I want to say now later on in my conversation, well, I'm thinking of them. I'm reflecting on them. And that becomes j'y réfléchis. J'y réfléchis. So we had originally je réfléchis à mes options, and now it becomes j'y réfléchis. And the E replaces this group nominal, it's called, a group nominal, a nominal group. In other words, a kind of an elaborate noun, which starts with a. Je réfléchis à mes options becomes j'y réfléchis. Let's take another example. Supposing we were saying, it's hard to get into a certain course of study. The course of study is une filière. And it's hard to get into this course of study in university, medicine or engineering. Il est difficile d'accéder à cette filière. Accéder à, it's got a verb and we've got the preposition à coming after it. And that preposition introduces this course. Il est difficile d'accéder à cette filière. And now that if our conversation continues and we say it's difficult to get into it, the course. So we say il est difficile d'y accéder. Il est difficile d'y accéder. The nominal group, or this red part of the sentence, it now becomes I. And that I is placed just before the verb. Il est difficile d'y accéder. Il est difficile d'y accéder. Let's take a third example. Je suis opposé à cette décision. Je suis opposé à cette décision. Sometimes we can get the liaison there, but it's not so important in this case. Je suis opposé à cette décision, to this decision. I'm opposed to it. And that if our conversation continues, I am opposed to it will be j'y suis opposé. J'y suis opposé. And again, the I is replacing this nominal group, or this elaborate noun, if you like. So that's the function, a very, very common function where you've got these verbs followed by the preposition a. Well, then later on in the conversation, when the noun has been introduced, it will be replaced by I. Another very common example with the verb aller. Je vais souvent à Paris. I often go to Paris. And again, this part of the sentence introduced by the preposition à. Je vais à Paris. Je vais souvent à Paris. I often go to Paris. And that'll become j'y vais 2 ou 3 fois par mois. I go there 2 or 3 times a month. J'y vais, j'y vais, j'y vais, j'y vais. Originally it was je vais. And now j'y vais 2 ou 3 fois par mois, 2 or 3 times per month. J'y vais 2 ou 3 fois par mois. And we should point out a couple of very common occurrences of it as well, of this letter E. Vas-y, go ahead, you say to your friend, go ahead in front of me. Vas-y, go there if you like. The E is like a kind of an invisible there. Vas-y. Go for it, go ahead of me, vas-y. And to several people, we would use the plural form of the verb allez-y, or indeed in a queue, somebody that we did not know, we would use the formal form of the verb, the vous form of the verb aller. Allez-y, allez-y, go ahead of me, allez-y. So that's a quick intro to the word y in French, not completely exhaustive, but an introduction.